Point for the Panthers. President Kelly Bolton checks into the match. Hey, SMU fans, make some noise when the Mustangs serve an ace, and we'll toss out prizes to our loudest fans.
SMU leads 9-5 over Milwaukee. It's game one of the SMU Double Tree Classic. Chris Mykoski and Chanel Bramschreiber, thanks for fighting through the audio issues with us. We're still overcoming some of them, but we will persevere here in SMU's second home game of the season. And what an amazing first home game it was. Chanel, a record crowd for volleyball, and SMU takes down number 2 Nebraska in a sweep.
You know, from the beginning, Chris, they have said they are on a mission, and it's clear that they are ready to do so far. But now their focus is on not stubbing their toe against these teams and then playing consistently at a high level, not being on that roller coaster.
Sam Erger had a great story to tell us on trying to keep that even keel following a huge win. Go back to 2018 at Baylor when she was an assistant coach. They took down Wisconsin in Waco, and then the following day lost to UT Rio Grande Valley.
You know, Chris, I happened to be on that roster when it happened, and I can tell you we both have PTSD from that match. You know, huge game against Wisconsin, and then coming back the next day. Thankfully, I think SMU does have an advantage as they did have a day off, but the emotional toll that it takes on these girls to play at that level and to focus against such good players, you know, it really can bring you down, not just physically, but mentally. So they push through, and they're hoping to go again, get another dub against the Panthers.
11-4.
Greatness is a feat.
Run the same practice for Milwaukee, then turn around and do it again for the club team.
You know, why make a new practice plan if it already works, right? So let's bring it home to the girls and just train them for when they get to school. They're already ahead of the game.
Here's Ellie Bolton, one of the new additions for Sam Erger's Mustangs. Transfer from Creighton, a missed hit, missed time by Natalie Schmitz. She's a high flyer. We're going to see a lot of that tonight. Just an issue there. (12-4) the Mustang advantage. SMU is now on a 7-0 run. Looking to add to it. Lexi Lewis able to put it to the floor. That's her first kill on the night.
Lexi Lewis finding space there at the net, going to that one zone, attacking SMU setter to try to get them out of system early.
Schmitz putting in play. Go to Jams Wheeler from the back row. Chance for Maddie Malone. Goes long. Malone, a two-time Horizon League first team selection. Now Brooke Frazier, the Texas A&M transfer in her second year as a Mustang. Coach Erger loves her confidence. Solid passer. Pushing it over and off of Frazier's hand and down to the new Terraflex floor.
Frazier put her runners on, and she was going up to get that short tip, but the Panthers were smarter than that, throwing it right over into deep five.
Hallie Cook, transfer from North Carolina Greensboro. Played in 2 sets, didn't register any stats in Milwaukee's most recent match, a win over Northern Illinois in 5. Natalie Foster, transfer from Wichita State, someone the Mustangs became very familiar with during her time with the Shockers. They'd love to see her in red and blue instead of black and gold. Long from Natalie Purdue.
You know, a big reason why SMU was able to sweep Nebraska the other night is because they won the serve and pass battle. 7 aces to 1 over Nebraska. So right now, they're really aiming to serve tough, but early on, just to make sure that they don't close the gap, they got to keep on the gas pedal and limit those errors.
Josie Johnson putting it in play. Her service run doesn't last long as Foster hits a bullet.
And you know, Natalie Foster was a big reason they had so many aces. You got to really hone in here because this might be one of the best servers in this conference.
Two-time first-team selection in the American Athletic Conference, now making her first run through the Atlantic Coast Conference. Her service run will continue. Already with 1 ace in this match, had 5 against Nebraska on Tuesday. She has 10 already on the season.
Something about those middle serves, man. There it is. They have such a high contact point, and her hand contact is so good. She's able to float the ball, but sometimes it even comes off as a hybrid. So the passers really have to be on their toes and ready to move.
Foster, a senior, hails from Michigan. Long on that attempt.
Too much weight room on that one.
For SMU.
Yep, SMU looking to side out here really quick, but they got their all-conference player, number 14, Maddie Malone, back at the service line.
Cullen. Back to another new addition for the Ponies, Nadie Okamore, former Florida Gator.
You know, normally I guess the crowd will give her a big Florida Gator chomp, but now she's all ponied up, running that slide just as well as she did back in Florida.
10-point Mustang lead, and Celia Cullen at the service line. Looking for more opportunities there this season. Able to tool the block and a point to the Panthers.
Maya Tabron so far, though, has led SMU in all 3 of their matches in kills. She's been their go-to hitter so far, but honestly, this SMU offense has been really well distributed by Celia Cullen.
And how about Maya Tabron bringing the fire? Former Colorado Buffalo.
She has got an arm on her, and she's also a great passer. So when you see her go back to serve, she's not going to get subbed out because her ball control is just too crucial for this SMU team.
She tied for the team lead with 9 kills on Tuesday in that win over second-ranked Nebraska. To her from the back row. Violation on SMU, back over to the Panthers.
Back row attack by Maya Tabron. Her toes just inching over the 10-meter line. The 10-foot line, sorry, 3-meter line.
Milwaukee into double digits. SMU's lead is now 19-10. First set of our opener in the SMU Doubletree Classic. SMU and Milwaukee. Chris Mykoski with Chanel Bramschreiber. Long off the hand of Gentry Lamoran, getting her first playing time of the season. Didn't get in against Hawaii, San Diego, or Nebraska.
Coach Erker spoke very highly, though, of Gentry, said she has made so much improvement over this offseason. And her mentality was, you know, why not? I'm going to be here. Let me work my way up in the starting lineup.
Nia Chimay getting in on the action again. Her 4th kill. That leads the team. Five swings early on for Chimay. A chance for Schmitz. Cullen's there. And Bolden, it's a free ball for Milwaukee. Lamoran and Foster up to the challenge. And a point for the Ponies.
Foster doing what she does best. She is a threat at the net. Always present on the block, but also an offensive weapon as well.
Bolden in a libero battle, trying to assure herself of the majority of the playing time at that position. Could see Brooke Frazier get some looks there before this weekend is up.
Erger said that battle was really tight. She was having a really hard time making that decision, whether it was going to be Frazier or Bolton. Bolton it is right now, and she held the position down really well against Nebraska, you know, passing high numbers and defending well. So I think that Brooke is making an impact with her serve and also her defense, and having both of them on the court at the same time is going to be amazing for SMU, having that much ball control.
That was the first service error of the match for Milwaukee. 10-point SMU lead again, 22-12. Schmitz, and on the overpass, Gentry Lamoran puts it to the floor.
Lamoran barely putting it away. I don't think she made good contact on that ball, and it went right off the tape. But, you know, she's laughing it off, and a point is a point, and they're 2 points away from stealing the first set.
You see Lamoran laughing it off right there. You can do that if you register the point. Mustangs 2 points away from taking the first set from the Panthers. Cullen to Lamoran again. Took some heat off it to get us to set point.
You can see right now for SMU, you've got Bolton playing right back and Brooke Frazier playing defense in left back. So a little unconventional, but defending the court really well in all 3 positions back row.
Frazier trying to close it out. 24-12, the SMU lead. And on the misplay from Milwaukee, SMU takes the first set, 25-12, right at triple zeros.
You know, I think that speaks to the setter SMU has, Celia Cullen. She can run this offense with her eyes closed, it seems like. She's so athletic in the front row, running that 5-1 and evenly distributes the ball, she's got 2 active middles, super high quality pins, and then she's a threat at the net herself.
Nice Chimay, long, and Milwaukee gets the first point of the second set. Back set to Okamore. Okamore coming to SMU from Florida, getting back close to home. She went to Hebron High School in Carrollton,
where she won several championships at the 6A level. She knows what it means to be a competitor. She's been doing it since she was 15 years old, and she's carried that on to her collegiate career.
2-1 Panthers. Lakin Graves heading back to the service line. Senior middle blocker. originally played for the Omaha Mavericks. Nia Shimei. She started her season strong, 11 kills against Hawaii in the opener, then 15 against San Diego as SMU picked up its first win of the season. Then 9 against the Cornhuskers on Tuesday. 2-2. Panthers able to tool the block.
Release of Tommy and Rachel Scott back on the floor for the Panthers. Tommy to serve.
And the Mustangs even the score. Gentry Lamoran, in her first action of the season, has 3 kills.
And you know, this is a great time for Gentry to get some playing time. She is a bit of an undersized player, but man, is she athletic, and she's a great passer as well. She's doing defensive and passing drills with their liberos, so she brings that backcourt presence, but in the front row, she's got to work on her vision and being able to tool the block, being a little bit smaller than what the typical out-hit hitter is.
There's Foster. Shimei right next to her. Bolden, a 2-time Big East All-Academic player for Creighton. Spent 4 years with the Blue Jays. Back even at 4.
And Chris, everyone on the court right now for SMU came from another school. So I don't think Sam Erger struggles in the recruiting aspect of her coaching style. She has been able to pull people to SMU so easily just because they have a great culture. The girls are very welcoming, and it makes it so easy to play in a city like Dallas, which Erger believes is the best metro for professional sports in general.
After the kill from the former Wyoming Cowgirl, we go to a former Texas A&M Aggie. With SMU up by 1. Going cross court. Lamoran's there. Tabron gets the point. Valiant effort from the Panthers, but not enough.
Yep, great hustle by Katie Goba and the libero. Not enough to get it back over, but they've got to get 100% to stay in this game with SMU.
A brief pause. Now SMU welcome to put the ball in play. Frazier had an ace on Tuesday against the Huskers, and there's another one tonight against the Panthers.
Speaking it into existence, Chris. Do it again. She's got a great low, flat, float serve. Moving right above the tape of the net can be really hard for passers to make a read on.
Increases the SMU lead to 7-4. Up to Lexi Lewis. Her 4th kill. That's the best on this Milwaukee roster.
And I love the response by number 9, Katie Goba. She gets ace, but she comes back, dimes the next one, and they're able to transition with a middle kill right off the bat.
Hallie Cook looking to settle into a DS or libero role with Milwaukee this season, coming over from UNC Greensboro. Can't handle that, diving into the action.
If you watch close enough, though, they are using Cook as a serving sub. So now that they have the 2 libero rule, she's only coming in to serve. They don't have to waste a sub for it. She's able to put in a tough ball and hopefully go on some longer runs.
Natalie Purdue. Panthers point. Her run ends quickly. Purdue played in every set against Nebraska on Tuesday, but didn't register any stats. Now Johnson again. 20 assists in Milwaukee's win over the weekend at Northern Illinois, including a final point when she fed Natalie Schmitz. Down the line and in for the Mustangs. Back to Natalie Foster.
Really close call. Susie Johnson getting up, asking her bench, was it in? And you can see they're like, yeah, let's not waste the green card right now.
Foster with a couple of aces, a couple of kills in the match thus far. Won't have another chance here as Milwaukee registers the point, and they'll get it back in the hands of Maddie Malone.
Okamore reaching back, which is what we teach our blockers not to do on tips. You either let it go or you got to throw it up high, and she kind of got caught in between, leading to a Panther point.
Cohen gets it to Tabron. Tabron, a three-time Pac-12 All-Academic Choice and 2 times on the All-Pac-12 honorable mention list.
She is a smarty pants, but also can bring it on the court, that is for sure.
Cohen, long. That service game, a big point of concentration for Cohen.
Yep, Colin was teased actually a little bit by her teammates last year for her serve, and she took it a bit personally and came into the gym in the spring and during summer and was sending bullets over the net saying, guys, I'm leveling up. Be ready, I'm bringing the heat. So she's missing a little bit long, but it's intentional. She's trying to get some more power behind it.
The teams trade service errors. That's 5 for the Mustangs so far tonight. Just 2 for Milwaukee. Tabron right at Erdman. Some firepower from Bree Gertz.
Gertz going up with a good wrist away, going right down the line where Bolton was too far on the line and the block wasn't taking that shot, so she was able to find that gap slightly to Bolton's right and sending it off to the stands.
Melissa Tomic, a freshman from Dyer, Indiana, met by the veteran grad student Nia Shimei.
It was a point of emphasis for Erger and her squad to be more physical. They've got to swing tougher and harder, especially moving into the ACC. And Nia Shimei already could hit the ball with tons of force. But, man, they are all looking like they're on another level so far from what we can see.
Into the campfire and an ace for Bolton.
A sneaky little short serve from Bolton. She disguised it well. Passers not being able to get a read on it, causing confusion in between 4 of the Panther players in their serve-receive pattern.
First ace for her tonight, 4th of the match for SMU. Milwaukee countering. Shimei takes something off it. Timeout called by Susie Johnson and Milwaukee. SMU leads 14-9, set 2 after the Mustangs took the opening set 25-12.
Gate!
Coming out of the timeout, Bolton on service for SMU. Mustangs lead 14-9, make it 15-9 as the attack goes wide.
The unforced errors is going to be bad for the Panthers against a team like SMU, who's going to capitalize that on it every single time. So they've got to find a way to at least make it playable.
4-0 run for SMU comes to an end as the Panthers get into double digits.
They're getting good production out of their middles. They've just got to stay in system and pass well enough to keep them involved and open up some space for the pins.
Here's Katie Goba. Error into the net for the sophomore. Frazier re-enters the serve for the Ponies. Five digs for her against Hawaii, 7 against San Diego, then none on Tuesday against the Cornhuskers. None so far tonight, primarily used on service. Malone trying to go cross court a little too far.
Milwaukee really aiming for those high hands, just missing out of bounds, but you've got blockers like Foster and Colin up at the net. What else can you do other than aim for the fingertips?
17-10 for the home team. To get it to Malone, met by a pair of Mustangs. Another chance for Malone. Able to get it off fingertips. Point for the Panthers.
Finally catching a break, working away from Foster and going at the front row setter, Colin, whose hands were just not turned back to 6 enough, breaking through that block.
This is Card Erdman, junior out of Forreston, Illinois. Back set to Foster. The diving Erdman had no chance. Point Ponies. Milwaukee takes its final timeout of the set, with SMU leading 18-11. Chanel, we haven't had a chance to set our keys to the match. We've seen some of them in action already in this match, as SMU doing a good job controlling those emotions after what was the biggest win, at least ranking-wise, in school history on Tuesday.
They have shown that they are steady-headed. They weren't too high. They're not dropping too low. They're not making very many errors. You can tell that they've rested well. They've prepared well for this match and said, you know what, that was a great win, but we've got to close that door because we've got a long season ahead of us. So they're moving on.
Certainly look confident tonight as well. Milwaukee trying to bring some energy and keep up their own momentum as they swept the Husky Invitational at Northern Illinois last weekend, beat Western Illinois in 4, and recovered from a 2-1 deficit to beat NIU in 5.
Yep, their record is 2-1, and their one is against Stanford. But, you know, their attitude towards these ranked teams, because not only do they have Stanford, they're going to face Wisconsin in a couple days. They're going to see Marquette later down the road during the season. They're excited to play these big teams because it's going to test them. They're going to put them under pressure and see how they respond. So SMU amongst those teams is also doing the same thing. And right now, SMU is showing that they're going to put the pressure on, and good luck responding, because this is our home court and Moody is the place to be.
You mentioned that match at Wisconsin. SMU loses that point back over to the Panthers, but first time for this Panther team to go to Madison since 2013. Amazing it's taken that long.
Right, none of these players on this roster have been there before, and let me tell you, it is an experience whether you're in a Badger jersey or not. The fans and the support that they bring into that building each and every single game is a really unique and fun experience to be able to play in a place like that that appreciates not only just volleyball but women's sports in general.
This is a challenge on the foot fault ruled against Gentry Lamoran that gave the Panthers that previous point, our first official review of the evening. You mentioned opening against Stanford. That was made possible for Milwaukee because the Cardinal had that huge 2-day event at Fiserv Forum a couple of days later, the home of the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Panthers gave the Cardinal all they could handle, 25-20 in set 1, and then took them to a 27-25 finish in set 2.
Yep, coach says that this team has fight. They do not give up, and they're going to give their all 100% of the time. Just like Erger was saying earlier, you know, they don't necessarily expect to win, but they do expect to give it their all every single time they play any opponent.
This is the first of 2 matches on the night of the SMU Doubletree Classic. We've already seen student athletes from Weber State and Loyola Marymount in the house. The call is confirmed, the football on Lamoran. Point stays with Milwaukee. Weber State, LMU coming up at approximately 7 o'clock Central Time inside Moody Coliseum. That match won't be televised, but we will see both of those teams over the course of the weekend here on ACC Network Extra when they play the Mustangs. Josie Johnson for the Panthers. Cullen, back set to Foster.
The Panthers not able to slow down Foster on that slide. She's just too quick, and her contact point is so high, she's able to go right over the block.
Sixth service error now on the night for the Mustangs, making it 19-13 in favor of the Ponies. Tabron. 7th kill for her on 12 swings.
Tabron breaking through that Panther block. Milwaukee getting all 4 hands up there, but she does not care. She is swinging full force right now.
Cullen with another attempt. 24 assists for her already tonight. Lamoran digs it out. Cullen on to Tabron for the point.
That swing, Tabron finding the split, the seam in the block, and both the defenders. She has great vision. She's able to see the court so well and execute by putting a kill straight to 5.
21-13 Mustangs. Cullen long again. Second service error for her. Lakin Graves. Ace for the Panthers. First of the night.
Graves putting in a good float in between the seam of both Bolton and Gentry.
The net is her friend. 2 consecutive aces for Lakin Graves.
Double time. She's going back there. She's confident. She's putting in a low ball. Just catching the tape that time. I'm sure Celia Cullen was reaching, trying her best to get there, but too good of a server back there.
On the overpass, there's Bri Gertz.
Gertz with an exclamation point on that clean kill on the overpass. It was a nice present wrapped up from the SMU team.
4-0 run for the Panthers. Mustangs looking to end it with Tabron, but it's long.
Lots of unforced errors right now from the Ponies, losing serve and pass, and then the few hitting errors too. They're stubbing their toe a little bit.
A 5-0 Out of the timeout, Milwaukee on a 5-0 run. Panthers have pulled within 3. Chimay, long on the cross-court attempt.
This is where Coach Erger was a little bit nervous, where they could start to be inconsistent.
The Panthers have turned it on here in the second set. Finally getting back on the scoreboard, ending a 6-0 run for the Panthers. Maya Tabron, graduate student from Gilroy, California, formerly a Colorado Buffalo. An ace for the Mustangs. 5th of the night for SMU. 23-19. Mustangs in front. Looking to close out the Panthers and go up 2-0. Cohen there. Bolton to Wheeler. A diving Erdman able to keep it alive, but Malone puts it into the net.
Great run by the Panthers there. Not able to execute there in that back row attack from Malone. Single blocker, you gotta take advantage of that one person in front of you and find a way to put it away.
Set point. Nearly had it on the ace. Milwaukee stays alive as Natalie Schmitz has a kill.
Schmitz just taking off just enough to make Maya move forward, not getting there in time, sprawling out.
Milica Tomic, the freshman, double figures in assists in her first 3 collegiate matches, but a service error to close out set 2. It got a little too on Milwaukee. Josie Johnson gets things started in set 3. Chimay looking to continue her solid evening. Malone has a chance. Cullen's there. Chimay again. 11 kills for Chimay.
Chimay's so versatile. She's swinging on the outside, a good thumb down shot, finding that T-spot, but also has big swings from the right side and also plays back row, so she's a threat everywhere.
Natalie Purdue. Grad student transfer from Arkansas. Watches that one sail past her. Back over to the Panthers.
Graves swinging at that ball a little awkwardly. Don't think the setter connection there was great, but had to work with what she got. Found that deep one corner and somehow scored.
Maddie Malone. 2-time all-conference choice in the Horizon League. Johnson sliding in, but can't lift it.
Erdman getting under that ball. It was a pretty good dig. Just a little too tight to the net where, you know, you're running a 6-2. You can't go up and play at the net, maybe attacking the ball. So trying to wait for it, time it perfectly as it's coming down, and wasn't there.
Here's Bolton. Graves coming down, able to make contact, keep it in play. Wheeler into the net. Wheeler just 1 kill on 4 swings so far tonight.
Wheeler saw the line shot was open. The 2 blockers were lined up inside, taking away that cross, as that's where they've been scoring the most, but not connecting well tonight.
Graves goes long. And Frazier returns. You mentioned the opportunity to use a second libero now this season, but Frazier not in the white jersey, simply subbing in per normal. Back set to Gertz. Wheeler on her own this time, over the top of her. Frazier gets it to Jams. Too strong.
Jams connecting much better on that one, going right down the line, having that defender force her hands up and not being able to pop it up in time.
4-2 SMU. 2-0 lead for the Mustangs. Johnson goes to Schmitz. Now Cullen dumping it over. We see that so often from her, that smart play.
She loves being able to score points herself, although that's the first time we've seen her do the dump tonight. So she's 1 for 1, hitting 1,000. That's exactly what coach is looking for. You don't want to do it too much, just enough to where you got to keep your defense on their toes. Maybe delay their transition in defense a little bit and score when you can.
She kept the Huskers on their toes. Lewis able to use her reach. Transfer from Memphis. She's been in this building before. Had 3 kills against SMU in American Athletic Conference play last season. Now Tomic. Hot start for her. Double figures in assists in her first 3 collegiate games as a freshman. Jams Wheeler. Getting more opportunities here in this third set. Now with 3 kills.
We're in set 3, and Jams Wheeler is just feeling like she's warming up here, looking to go on a long run and maybe limit those serving errors, which caught him at the end of the second set, making it pretty close.
Foster's there alongside Cullen. 4th block for SMU in this one. Milwaukee has just 1.
Those two work well together, Cullen and Foster there at the net, both reading that ball inside at the same time, in sync up and over the net.
Bolton digs it out. Now Chimay. Lamoran keeps it alive, gets it right back. Can't time the jump.
Lamoran squeezing by, trying to keep herself out of the net, but that ball was basically on the other side of the net. There's not much you can do there.
Lamoran with a chance. Erdman was there. Now Malone gets it on the line. In. Point Panthers.
It's a great shot. It's landing right on the end line. It's hard to defend. The defenders are second-guessing themselves. You know, maybe it's out. That is where you're going to score 90% of the time, is that deep third of the court.
Into the net, service error. Panthers creeping closer to the Mustangs in that category. 8 errors at the line for the Ponies. 6 now for the Panthers.
And for the Panthers, they got to go back there and still be confident and serve tough, because right now SMU is siding out at almost 80%. So they got to put some pressure on the service line.
The wall put up at Moody. 9-5.
Gentry using those hops she's got, getting up there, holding and finishing that point all by herself with a solo block.
Here's Foster again. Okamore and Cullen teaming up. Now Lamoran tools the block. Point SMU. Lamoran has 4 kills, and Milwaukee needs a TO. Mustangs on the verge of a sweep over the Panthers to start the SMU Doubletree Classic.
BK's new fiery menu, 5 items, 5 levels, so you.
Well, there aren't 6,700 people in the building tonight, so SMU having to bring a bit of its own energy for this one. They've done just that. They lead by 5 in set 3, looking to finish a sweep.
For sure, not much to feed off of by themselves, but Hey, they're still getting aces back there, and Foster is creating some momentum for SMU to try to sweep this Panther team.
Third ace on the night for Foster. She had 5 on Tuesday against Nebraska. Yuli had one there. Cullen into the net. Point Panthers trying to dump it over again.
Cullen really wanting that one, so aggressive. She almost took down the net herself. And, you know, sometimes as a setter, you can try to play it off and make it look like the other team was in the net, but that one was a little too obvious.
Cullen backset to Okamore. Stays alive. Another chance for the Ponies. This time Lamarand. Panthers can't successfully return. 12-6 now. Celia Cullen tallied 29 of SMU's 35 assists on Tuesday. Up to 29 in this match. Can't handle the heat there from Milwaukee.
Milwaukee trying to spark some momentum right now. Hitting some power shots. They got to mix up what they're doing at the net. They got to pass well and then make SMU move on defense.
Purdue re-enters. Came into the night seeking her first kill of the season, still looking for it. Pitt, the preseason favorite here in the Atlantic Coast Conference, as SMU moves into arguably the best league in the country. The Panthers #1, Stanford #2. You go down, you find SMU at #6. You add the firepower of the Cardinal and the Mustangs to what was already a dominant league across the country. And this firepower is just ridiculous.
It is. They're going to see teams regularly now entering the ACC. They've got Pitt. They've got Stanford, Louisville. They're also going to see other teams like Purdue, Kentucky. They've got Georgia Tech in conference, Florida State, Baylor later down the line. I mean, it is going to be a very tough and long season. But thankfully for Urger, she has a team that has plenty of depth and players. As we're seeing tonight, Gentry Lamarand, she's getting to see time as they've got a long weekend ahead. But, man, are they going to get some good experiences playing these teams in the ACC.
Looking forward to some incredible high-level matches throughout the year here at Moody Coliseum. Nia Chamay will be a big player in all of them. She puts SMU up 14-8.
You know, I think last season, as their goal was to win conference, to put them in a better position going into the ACC, I don't think they would have guessed they would have been 6th, maybe even lower. But they had belief, and they got great players to all be in sync at the same time. And I think that, you know, maybe they'll surprise some people. So these teams that have made the tournament, they've got to watch out because SMU is looking to make an impact.
Jams Wheeler lifts it over the potential blockers. Puts the Mustangs up 7. Back to Bolton. Taking on the role of libero on this SMU team, trying hard as she might to fill that jersey. It was occupied by Sina Uluave last year. What an elite passer she was. Now sitting on the SMU bench as a grad assistant coach.
And how blessed is SMU to have Cena around still in the gym. Not only is she a phenomenal human being, but she was completely taking that libero role in her own hands. She took that jersey and she owned it from the very first day she stepped into the gym. She's a great communicator, sees the court really well, a great passer. So she's been able to pass on that knowledge to the DSs that are here now.
Natalie Schmitz, her 5th kill. Bolton feeding Wheeler. Plenty of runway. A kill for Jams.
And as an outside, you got to be able to take out the trash, right? Not a great pass. It's coming from your libero in the back half of the court. Timed it perfectly, going off the high hands of the Panther block.
Mustangs 16, Panthers 9. Brooke Frazier puts it in play. Schmitz, dug out by Lamoran. Now another attempt for Wheeler. Attempted to dump it over. Foster. Erdman's there. And going back to the floor, Lewis. Wheeler again. She's up to 6 kills. Leads to a Milwaukee timeout. Susie Johnson, her 17th year as the head coach of this program, 28th season overall with the Panthers, 6 regular season titles, 4 trips to the NCAA tournament. She was a setter at Idaho State where she earned all conference honors. On the other side is Sam Erger, her 3rd season, the American Athletic Conference Coach of the Year in 2023, as SMU went 18-1 in league play, winning the title. The best conference winning percentage in program history at .947. This Mustang team closed out the regular year with 7 straight sweeps and overall a 15-match win streak.
And they're bringing that sweep magic over to Moody, knocking off Nebraska and looking like they're probably going to sweep here tonight. So, you know, that's a good change. Last year, I think we started with a lot of 5-setters, and they put themselves in a position where they had to recover a lot and quickly going into these tournaments. But, you know, they have 2 more matches ahead of them this weekend, and they're getting it done quick right now.
Mustangs knocked off Texas State in the opening round of the NCAA tournament, then fell to eventual national champion Texas on their home floor at Gregory Gym in Austin. This year's team on a mission, trying to relish every good moment. It's the last go for some of these student athletes. Chance to play in the ACC in their final year. Bri Gertz registering the kill. That's 5 for her now on 10 swings.
It's a great year for these seniors to switch over in their conference, not only because they get to play different opponents, but they also get to travel to different parts of the country, you know. As a player, you've been to these gyms several times throughout your career, which is cool, but it's pretty refreshing, you know, maybe even these 5th-year athletes going to somewhere new. It's fresh.
Wheeler in her senior season into the net. We talked about what's coming up for SMU this weekend. Weber State and Loyola Marymount make up the rest of this SMU Doubletree Classic field. A visit to Waco against the Baylor Bears on Tuesday. Imagine there'll be some emotions running high on both sides as the Mustangs beat the Bears on the hilltop last year.
Right, and it's got to feel kind of like a homecoming for Coach Erger, as she spent lots and lots of nights in that gym in the Farrell Center with a coaching staff that she loved dearly. But as much as she loved that team, man, does she love being a head coach, and especially one that is competing at such a high level. She's in a Power 4 school now, no more Power 5, but she is really enjoying her time here in Dallas.
Baylor volleyball team does continue to play in the Farrell Center. They have not made the move over to the new arena on campus. That's restricted to the basketball squads right now.
They got the Farrell all to themselves. Them and Acro and Tumbling in the Farrell Center.
10-point Mustang advantage on the overpass. There's the queen.
Queen of the net, Okamore, hands up fast. I mean, that was like just giving a kid a cookie. She's going to take it and put it away.
Plenty of crowning moments ahead for Nady Okamore, the transfer from Florida. Long from Foster. Three points away from Mustang sweep. Panthers trying to claw back like they did in the second set. Okamore wants nothing like that to happen.
And that was an easy serve from Erdman. Standing float on the ground, high, right into the lap of SMU passers. They're able to use that and run with it, feeding Okamore on that slide.
Cullen, 2 points away from a Mustang win. Malone can't lift it over. Match point.
At the end of the game like this, you got to be smart with your shots. 100%, you got to make big swings right here. Don't be shy and go with the off speed.
Cullen trying to close it out. She does with an ace. That's a sweep for the Mustangs over the Panthers.